The 18th to the 24th.
Always the last to know.
Beautiful tune. That was the immortal Delamitri there. You a fan of Delamitri, Damien?
Of
Delamitri?
Well, I've not really heard of them, actually.
I've not heard of Delamitri, he says. Nice one. Sort of fits in with your whole, hey, hummus thing.
Well, I do quite like hummus, certainly. I think if more people actually knew how easy tahini is to get hold of.
If you've only just tuned in, joining me in the studio this morning is Damian Trench, the cook. Or do you prefer chef, Damien?
Well, I'm not really a chef or a cook. I term myself a cookery writer.
Chef, cook, writer, you say potato, I say potato. Actually, what do you say?
Potato.
Now, you're here to talk to us today about the government's new healthy eating scheme. And today is... Actually, what is today about, Damien, for people who might be interested?
Well, today is called Eat Something Different Day.
Right.
We're trying to get people to broaden their food horizons. In Britain, we've access to all sorts of amazing foods.
Yeah.
And yet only a small proportion of us ever change what we eat on a regular basis.
Yeah. Coming up soon, Sting and his classic Fields of Gold. Don't go away.
All we're asking is that people just try something different for one day. Surprise yourself.
What, like you might swap chips
Exactly.
for curly fries?
Well, no, that would be a backward step, I think.
Bloody love curly fries. Well, anyway, I've always wanted to know, when we see chefs like you on the big cookery shows, I'm talking your Come Dines, your Ready Steadies, your Master Chefs.
Well, I've done a couple of documentaries on Sky Arts, but I've not actually...
Yeah. How, realistic are those programmes?
Honestly, not very.
Really? Go on, spill the proverbials, Damien. What sort of thing goes on?
Well, for instance, almost any big-name cook you care to mention will employ a home economist to help them measure up.
But I'm talking about the shouting and I'm talking about the rage. Is that what it's like in a professional kitchen? Yelling, waving meat cleavers about?
Well, my own experience in professional kitchens is extremely limited.
Can't be easy to gut a Savoy with some madman yelling in your ear hole.
Well, yes, that would make the task even harder than it already is.
So it's not really like that.
What I will say is this. The type of cookery television we've seen for the last few years has been selling the public short. The British public deserve a more honest type of cookery programme. It's as simple as that.
Is honesty always the best policy? Text in with a yay or a nay.
Real cooks in their own kitchens preparing their own ingredients.
OK, so this is war.
I beg your pardon?
You're declaring war on these guys.
War?
Have you been in a war? Perhaps you've just come back from one, couple going on right now. Text in.
No, of course I'm not declaring war. Would anyone declare a war here on this? Really? Would they?
Okie dokes and fair dues. Well, that's all we got time for. What else you got coming up, DT? Quickly.
DT? Oh, me, right. Well, a new edition of my book A Year in the Kitchen has just been published with a revised introduction and an expanded list of stock hits.
Great! Well, I hope your Eat Something Day, or whatever it is, works out well, and good luck with the DVD. Now, it's just coming up to 11 of the clock, and in the next half hour, we're going to be...
September the 19th, Sunday. Only time will tell if Eat Something Different Day catches on, and I'm relieved to have the kerfuffle out of the way. Domestically, we're about to have an all-hands-to-the-pump scenario. Our builder, Mr. Mullaney, and his helper of the week are reaching a crucial stage in the construction process of our new kitchen, and this might be the week that it begins to look like the food preparation and cookery space I'd always dreamt of. On top of everything, we are also about to be visited by one of Anthony's many eccentric relatives. This one is a teenage second cousin or something called Libby. She's been sent to us by her mother Angie for respite. Anthony says Libby's a little, sensitive. So many of us do become difficult in our teens. I can certainly remember a period in my life when I made some very brutal remarks about my mother's predilection for tinned meats. Now, of course, I wince at the recollection. Anyway, dear diary, that is all for now. I have Sunday lunch to prepare for some of the branches of my own family tree.
A lot of our friends have heard you on the radio this week, Damien. They were very impressed.
Oh, yes. No, it was good that you were asked to do that. Something sort of tangible. I think a lot of our friends aren't really sure what it is that you do, darling. But now they've heard you, being a DJ.
I wasn't being a DJ, Mother. The DJ is the host of a programme, the one who spins the record and talks the twaddle and interrupts the guests. You'd be rather good at it, probably.
Oh, excuse me for taking an interest.
I was trying to promote a new government initiative called Eat Something Different Today.
Oh, what on earth is that?
Encouraging people to try a more diverse diet.
Why?
For the good of their health.
Changing what you eat isn't good for your health. Eating 5 a day is good for your health.
Well, the French eat all
Yes,
sorts.
your father and I have always have our 5 a day, don't we, dear?
Oh, yes, I get interrogated about it before bedtime. Sometimes she makes me eat 2 oranges before she goes upstairs. I get terrible acid.
You shouldn't eat just before you go to bed, Mother.
Oh, it's not bad for you to eat oranges. It is time of day, Damian.
Could I have more potatoes? I hate to see them going to waste.
No, Frank.
They won't go to waste. We'll eat them tomorrow with Libby.
No, could we find them? Could we have them a little bit of them?
Libby? Who is Libby?
Oh, I've finally met a girl, Mother.
Oh, don't do that. Don't you laugh, Frank. You do know your brother doesn't want children, Damian?
Libby is my goddaughter.
Oh, that's nice. Otherwise you wouldn't experience parenthood, would you? Unless you adopted.
Would anyone like coffee before they leave?
September the 20th, Monday.
Hello?
Damian, there should be something from you in my inbox this morning, shouldn't there, for your book?
Oh, yes, the thing is, Ian, I am a bit snowed under.
Will you be able to get much done this week?
I hope so, although obviously we've got the builders with us still.
What is that builder doing? I thought it was just the kitchen.
Ian, sometimes if you want something to be done well, you need it to be done slowly. You know, like a tagine.
Like what?
It doesn't matter. Now, we've also got Anthony's goddaughter Libby coming to stay.
Well, that shouldn't be much work. Just plonk her down in front of CBBC.
She's 19.
Exactly. Look, I've had an email from a television company, Damian.
Well, I am a little sceptical about television companies, Ian.
Of course you are. So you wouldn't be interested in doing a screen test for someone then?
No.
Okay, that's how you feel. It was just somebody who was rather impressed by the honesty and cookery stance you took on Style FM.
Oh, that's nice to hear.
They're doing screen tests this week in time for the autumn. Very good for sales. Sure you've no room for it in your diary? Or even your kitchen?
Listen, Ian, I just don't think I'm really cut out.
Now remind me, how much do those granite worktops cost?
Well, perhaps it would be worth thinking about.
Excellent. I'll tell them Friday.
The thought of doing a screen test really gets me thinking about the theatre of cookery. I'm not saying, of course, that the minute you get on screen you should start flinging things about as if you're a teppanyaki chef at the Highland Games. No, I believe that simplicity is the key to communication. That said, one bit of flamboyance such as flambeing is forgivable, and never anything less than tremendous fun. I do it fortnightly, and recommend that you do too. Recipe. The great thing about flambeing is that you could technically flambe anything within legal reason. This is my take on crêpe Suzette. Make your crepes in the usual pancake way, with flour, eggs, salt, milk and butter, but make them as thin as you can. Don't cook them for too long either. You'll need them to retain a certain degree of foldability, and then put them to one side. Right then, now for the fun part. You need the juice of 2 oranges, but only the zest of 1, which sounds like the start of a riddle, doesn't it? 2½ ounces of sugar, caster, 6½ ounces of that type of butter, unsalted that is, 3 fluid ounces of good, strong orange liqueur. Bring the juiced zest, butter and sugar to the boil together in a pan and then let it simmer for roughly 13½ minutes. By then the whole thing should have turned a bit syrupy, in a good way. Then take your crepes and fold them in half and half again and then arrange them in a dish. It needs to be a flame-proof one unless you really are a thrill-seeker. Pour the syrup over it and put a little heat under them for 3 minutes or so. Then warm the liqueur and once the crepes are really hot, pour it over and, aurora borealis, that's flambé. Carefully mind. Once the flames have died out and you've made doubly sure that nothing in the vicinity has caught fire in the meantime, you may eat. I grabbed 3/4 of an hour after lunch to try and catch up with the book and sent some rather breathless pages of it through for Ian to peruse, and then headed out to do a shop. I returned with foodstuffs from no fewer than 14 different suppliers to find Anthony and Mulaney sharing a pot of tea in the kitchen. Not a great deal of work being done.
Don't mind me, gentlemen.
Goodness, you sure you've got enough bags?
Listen, whatever you do, please don't get up and help me. It'd be simply awful if the seat of your trousers began to cool.
Yeah, I have a bad back in case you don't remember.
Gosh, perhaps if you mentioned it occasionally, it might be fresher in my mind. Well, that should be enough food to keep Libby happy for a while. Mr. Mulaney, you're keeping busy, I trust?
Well, you know, I can't really get on with anything until I've heard your feelings about the wall.
What wall? The walls are fine, aren't they?
Anthony and I discussed the wall coming down, together, obviously, but he felt I'd better check with you first.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, I was meant to tell you and...
You didn't tell him?
He hasn't told me a thing about any walls. His conversation has been almost entirely Libby-heavy and wall-light.
I had a structural surveyor friend of mine take a second look at whether or not that wall will be affected by the new position of the exclude event.
Oh, it can still be moved, can't it? I mean, that was the starting point of the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, you can still move it, definitely, but the thing is...
I couldn't tell you.
I'm going to have to scaffold up the roof support and take the wall down from here over to about 17, 18 feet.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you see, I thought you'd go bananas.
Mr. Mulaney, I have to say, some weeks ago you were in the process of fitting new worktops, which you have done beautifully, I might add, and now you want to start taking the flipping walls down. Are you absolutely sure that you're doing this in the right order?
Look,